Alright, so I wanted to make this video to compare my old beloved Tracker 2 to the newer one that I just received in the mail. And on camera, these boots probably look very similar. In fact, they look almost identical. Obviously, you can see I've worn this one. I've got thousands of miles in it. I got it about 3 years ago, and that's kind of when I fell in love with Vivobarefoot shoes, because they're amazing. And you can see I've pretty much worn through all the tread, and I needed a new pair, which is why I went and ordered myself a new set of trackers. But I just want to outline some of the small differences between the old and the new that make me want to return the new one, because honestly, it's got a cheaper feel, it's got a cheaper look. On camera, they look pretty similar, but let's get into it. Like, just the shoelace, for example. Simple, silly little thing. The old shoelace, I don't know if you can see that, is much thicker than the new one, and that just adds to like a better quality feel. And not only is it thicker, but the old shoelaces are much longer than the new shoelaces, which gives you more versatility on how you're tying up the shoe. See, I always like to wrap the shoelaces around the top of the ankle of the boot. Alright, so let's move on. We got this pull strap. On the old boot, we've got a beautiful red, strong nylon pull tab. And on the new one, you can see the color's not as vibrant, it's a little faded, it's more flexible, the material's not as quality. I mean, just compare that. I can't even flex that. That's super strong compared to the new one. And that's the thing about these boots, the price hasn't changed. They're still charging $240. So the other thing is the material up around your ankle here, this material here, you can see it on the old boot. It's a little shinier, the texture is more vibrant. And then on the new boot, you have this fabric. I mean, you decide for yourself. I think the old boot looks much higher quality in that area. And then the liner, all right. Not only is the color different, but if you look really closely at the old liner, you can see that it has a bit of a hexagonal pattern to it. And that goes along with their logo. So you can see in their logo they have the hexagons there. And on the back, you have the hexagons in the V shape. But on the new boot, you've got this black material with sort of a nondescript, just sort of plain fabric, like what you might find on a backpack strap of a Walmart backpack. Nothing special there. So, I don't know, how these shoelace loops are attached. I think this one's a much more quality attachment than these. What else? The toe. You can see on the old boots, the toe comes up, the sole actually comes up over the toe a little bit, so that adds a little bit of protection for your foot and the shoe itself. This one comes up about halfway. And the sole material itself, I know I've put a lot of miles on these older boots and they're much more broken in. But I remember what the soles felt like new. And even brand new on these old boots, they were much more supple than these newer shoes. Like, this feels pretty stiff. I mean, look, you can't even The shoe, you can barely even bend it. And that kind of defeats the whole, purpose of these shoes. They're meant to be barefoot shoes so you can feel the ground. Like, look at this. I can almost crumple this shoe up with one hand. This one's very stiff. And that's not going to give you a good ground feel. And then the leather itself. The leather on these older shoes that I got 3 years ago is awesome. Nice, beautiful leather. This is not as supple. It's much stiffer. And when you walk, it pinches your toe. And I've had that on other barefoot shoes that I've ordered from Vivo lately, which I've had to return. So yeah, even though the shoes look very similar, they have a lot of small differences that add up to, in my opinion, cheapen the overall feel of the shoe. So I'm a little disappointed that it just seems like Vivo tried to save on the production costs by using cheaper materials, cheaper process, and that's just corporate greed for you. They're trying to increase their profit margin by reducing the production cost of the shoe. And I mean, if you're paying $240 for a pair of shoes, you want them to be really top-notch shoes. And that leads me to another example of exactly what I'm talking about. So, okay, so you can see on these shoes, if you just look there, how the leather is cut fairly straight. And then this one, it's a pretty clear angle there. You can see that that's not a square cut. Whereas here, it's pretty much square. The logo's a little different. And then, I mean, you can even go so far as to look at the stitching and compare old to new. On the old one, the stitching is very evenly spaced. Like, those two lines of stitching are the same distance apart throughout the shoe. And then on the new one, you can see in a spot like that, it's very close together. It's almost touching. And then there, it's a little bit further apart. It gets a little closer together. Even the thread itself doesn't look as quality as the old shoe. And then again, there's that tongue material I was talking about in the shoelaces. And just compare that to that older material. Those thicker laces, they just look way more badass. So yeah, I'm pretty disappointed with all the little changes they made. I mean, look at this. That's how a barefoot shoe should be. And I love these shoes. It's so disappointing. I wish I bought 2 pairs when they first came out, and then this one. It's pretty stiff. And I know, a lot of you would be watching this and be like, well, you probably just need to break it in, but I remember when I got these other ones 3 years ago, they felt perfect from day one. They're just awesome shoes. And these new trackers just feel like a cheap counterfeit of the old trackers. So I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm exploring other brands, looking at other shoes. And hopefully I can find something that meets my needs. Anyway, thanks for watching.